There are moments in life when the world feels heavy, so heavy it presses against your chest and clouds your thoughts. You wake up, and even before you move your body, your mind is already tired. That is what anxiety and depression feel like. Not just sadness or worry, but a quiet war inside you. It's not always visible, and sometimes even the person experiencing it can't put it into words. But the pain is real. It's not just in the mind. It's in the body, the soul, the way your day begins and ends. Depression isn't just feeling down. It's a persistent numbness that clings to your thoughts like fog. It's losing interest in things you once loved. It's the loss of energy, motivation, and hope all at once. You stop laughing, not because something isn't funny, but because laughter seems foreign. Every small task becomes a mountain. Getting out of bed, replying to a message, taking a shower, all become momentous, exhausting undertakings. You begin to withdraw, not because you don't care about people, but because you don't want them to see you like this. You isolate because it feels safer. Lonelier, yes, but safer. Anxiety, on the other hand, is like a storm constantly brewing in your chest. It's the racing thoughts, the shortness of breath, the feeling that something terrible is going to happen even when everything seems fine. It's waking up with a sense of dread and not knowing why. It's overthinking every word you said yesterday, every decision you made, every look someone gave you. It's the irrational what-ifs that refuse to let you rest, and yet the world keeps spinning, people keep asking you questions, and life keeps demanding you show up. So you do, but inside you're falling apart. One of the hardest parts of anxiety and depression is the guilt that comes with it. You wonder why you're like this when others seem fine. You feel weak for not being able to snap out of it. You might have a job, a family, a roof over your head, yet you feel empty, and that makes you feel ashamed. But the truth is, mental illness does not discriminate. It doesn't care about your background, success, or strength. It's not a choice. It's a condition, and most importantly, it's treatable. To cope, the first step is understanding that what you're feeling is valid. You're not broken, you're not weak, you are human. And being human means you feel deeply, sometimes too deeply, but that depth can also be your strength. You are not alone in this. Millions of people around the world carry this invisible burden every day. Some speak about it, some suffer silently, but the pain is real and it deserves compassion, not judgment. Coping with anxiety and depression is not about pretending to be okay. It's about creating space for healing, even in small ways. It might mean reaching out to a therapist, even if you're scared. It might mean telling a friend, "I'm not doing well," and letting that be enough for now. It might mean getting out of bed, drinking a glass of water, or going outside for a minute of fresh air. Healing doesn't happen all at once. It's not linear, but it does happen, slowly, surely, with effort and support. Self-awareness is a key step in this journey. Start paying attention to your thoughts. Notice how often they spiral into negativity. Write them down, not to punish yourself, but to observe them. When you shine a light on your inner world, you begin to reclaim control. You realize that you are not your thought. You are the observer of those thoughts. That's where power begins. That's where healing begins. You might not feel like you're progressing, but every small act of self-care is a victory. You may feel like you're moving backward, but every setback is part of a larger story that is still being written. The truth is, anxiety and depression don't make you any less worthy of love, success, or peace. If anything, the fact that you're still trying, still reading, still searching for answers, means you're incredibly strong. You've been in the dark and still seek the light. That takes courage. You can't heal overnight, but you can start today, one breath at a time, one step at a time. One of the most powerful realizations for anyone struggling with depression or anxiety is that you are not your diagnosis. Depression and anxiety might affect how you think, feel, or behave, but they do not define your worth, identity, or future. Too often, people internalize their struggle, believing it makes them broken or unlovable. But the truth is, your mind may be in pain, but your soul is still whole. You are not weak for feeling low, nor are you a failure for needing help. Separating yourself from the illness gives you back your power. It reminds you that healing is possible, because the real you is still in there, waiting to rise again. When you're in the middle of depression or overwhelmed by anxiety, even the smallest task can feel impossible. That's why healing begins not with giant leaps, but with tiny, consistent steps. Drinking water, stepping outside, writing your thoughts in a journal, or reaching out to one trusted person. These small actions may seem insignificant, but over time they build momentum. These tiny victories teach your brain that change is possible. You don't need to be cured today. You just need to show up for yourself in small ways every day. That's how strength is rebuilt, from the ground up, with intention and patience. When you're in the middle of depression or overwhelmed by anxiety, even the smallest task can feel impossible. That's why healing begins not with giant leaps, but with tiny, consistent steps. Drinking water, stepping outside, writing your thoughts in a journal, or reaching out to one trusted person. These small actions may seem insignificant, but over time they build momentum. These tiny victories teach your brain that change is possible. You don't need to be cured today. You just need to show up for yourself in small ways every day. That's how strength is rebuilt, from the ground up, with intention and patience.